hang on. I can still hear. Right, we're good. I had my YouTube opened on the other tab, and I
Oh,
thought
God.
when the countdown was happening, it sounded echoey, but I thought, oh, it's just the countdown. It's that kind of music.
Right.
But then it was still going. I was like, something's not right. Um, Hi everyone. How are we all doing? Um, I'm joined by Deanne. As you can see, I'm not going to do that cheesy thing where I'm like, "Hi, Deanne," because obviously we've been talking for about 5 minutes before we went live. And yeah, we were chatting away, and I thought there's no reason why we can't be. We weren't talking about anything salacious, so I thought there's no reason why we can't just have this conversation whilst we're live, eh? And
Right.
even if it does go to a salacious place, it's all good, isn't it?
Perfect.
Um, how is everybody in the chat? How are we all doing? How are you, Deanne? Tell everyone in the chat how you're doing and what you've been up to.
I am good this week. This is actually my kickoff to my weekend because I'm off tomorrow. And I've been home with both kids this week because Max was on spring break. So because of that, I'm having a little, well, not a little. My husband poured this for me. Okay. He said, "Is this enough?" So sip, sip, everyone. Happy spring break. I guess I should do this.
Yeah, I'll sip as well. So I've got coffee and I've also got iron brew. So I've got my two standards.
Look at that.
Um, but cheers, Deanne.
Cheers. I was wondering the other day if I could like get Iron Brew on Amazon or something and then just show up with one and that would be amazing. But I didn't even look because
Oh,
I'm scattered.
I'll need to
But
send you some. We need to get. Have you tried it before?
what's that? Oh no, I
Have you
haven't.
tried iron brew? No.
Mm-mm.
We need to get some too. Yeah. Then
Yeah,
you probably hate it, but that's fine as long as you've tried it.
it's whatever. I just thought that would be hilarious if I could pull that off. But
Yeah.
again, I work from home. For those of you who don't know me, but most of you do, I work from home with my 2-year-old, and this week also my 6-year-old was home, which is so fun to like see them playing together because Vela totally misses Max while he's at school. So
Yeah.
basically, basically how I am is good and busy and scattered as usual.
When I just before you came into the StreamYard, I was browsing Instagram and I saw this. It was just a video that went viral. I think it was maybe a few years ago or something, but it was this kind of a older brother and his younger sister in the back of the car, and would have been about Max and Vela's age. And the wee sister was kind of half sleeping, and the older brother was holding her hand and singing a Bruno Mars song. I can't quite remember what the song
Oh,
was, but it was like the sweetest thing.
that's
Um,
amazing.
yeah, it made me think of Max and Vela. Um, But yeah, let me go through the chat and say hi to everyone that's here because we've been joined by lots of lovely people.
Yeah.
So we've got Simon from the Hermit's Cave. Simon, you were here really early. Simon commented whoop whoop at 11 minutes past 8. I actually had to double check that I'd scheduled it for the right time because I was like, Simon's not normally that early. I was like, it's probably me that's fucked up somewhere along the way, but I think we're good. Um, the lovely Ramon from Moonscarab. Hi, Ramon. How you doing? Lottie B Hugs from Spirit is here. Says hello, everyone. We've got our handsome Hawaiian Jonathan Daly is here and says hello, everyone. We've also got the lovely Sandra, and we have got the lovely Saskia. Um, Simon says, doing all right, Chris. Yeah, I'm doing good. I am off now. I don't normally work a Friday, but we've got the Friday and the Monday are public holidays here. We were kind of just talking about this, Deanne, weren't we? But I don't know if we
Yeah.
actually finished the conversation. But I'm off tomorrow as usual, but I'm also off on Monday. So I'm not back working till Tuesday, which is nice. Um,
That's awesome.
so yeah, I've got Sophie tomorrow, so it's going to be a Sophie day.
Oh, I was just gonna ask about her. I've been wondering how she's doing. She's such a big
Yeah.
girl now. She doesn't get over there very often.
Yeah, I know, I know. I'm really excited to see her, and I think she's excited to come over as well. So it'll be
Oh,
good.
I'm sure.
Um, Let's see. I want to make sure I'm saying hi to everyone. Oh, Simon's got us on the TV. Look at that.
I did see that. That's always like an extra nerve-wracking moment. It's fine. I brought this.
Robin from Toadstool Tarot's here. Hi, Robin. How are you? I feel as I've not seen you in a while, Robin, but that's probably not actually true. But it's nice to see you anyway. I hope you're doing okay. Marita's here. Hi, Marita. How are you? And Jane the Seeker. Hi, Jane. And Donna. And Patsy. Robin says, when are you going to Michigan? I don't know.
Good
Hopefully
question.
sometime soon.
Good
I would
question.
love to go over to Michigan, so I would. I actually really want to. So next week, no, not next week, the 7th. So, well, I suppose 1 week on Sunday,
Mhm.
they're doing a service. So it'll be a year since Rachel Pollock passed away, and they're doing a kind of a service, just a kind of a wee remembrance thing at her grave. It's Jewish tradition that they kind of unveil the. I'm not really sure what the correct term is for it, but it's kind of so from what it sounds like it's quite equivalent to like a headstone. Maybe it is a headstone. Um, but they're kind of install. It's tradition that they install that. I think around about that time. But I think there's been a bit of an issue getting it and all that. But they're still kind of going to gather and commemorate her. So I mean, I was saying last night to Zoe, like, but it would just be so nice if it was much easier to be able to, if the pond was just a wee bit smaller and I could just jump over. Like I'd be able to see all my lovely friends over there, and I'd be able to do things like that. But never mind. One of these days, me and Deanne are going to get a big, massive house, and we're going to open a wee tarot tea shop, aren't we, Deanne?
It's true. Mhm.
Um, Kristen's here. Hi, Kristen. Let's see. Robert's here, and Robert's got 4 days off work too. Yeah, it's exciting, isn't it? So I've got a busy day tomorrow because I've got Sophie pretty much all day actually. So I'll pick her up in the morning, and then her parents are coming over for a film night. So I'll probably have Sophie overnight, and she'll go home in the morning. So tomorrow will be a busy day, but Sandy's off work, so I'll have backup.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah, and then I've got 3 days left of the weekend.
Yeah.
So should be good. Um, Flower Beauty Peacock Rainbow is here. Hi there, how you doing? I think this might be the first that I've met you. So it's lovely to meet you. Thank you for being here. Kristen is taking a vacation day tomorrow. Something is coming in. What's MIO stand for?
Mother-in-law.
Oh,
Yep.
see.
And that's me. I'm just taking tomorrow off. My employer doesn't give it off. My husband's does, but I'm taking it off to go meet with friends and have lunch. So happy
That'll be
vacation days
nice.
all around.
Nice. Simon says, now I can relate to Chris, and Thursdays being his Fridays. Oh, so you're off as well, Simon. Have you got a couple of weeks off? Because I know in education, up here, the schools get 2 weeks off. So are you the same, or are you only off a couple of days like everyone else, Simon? Let's see. Gerald's here. Hi, Gerald. How are you? He's washing his dishes and lurking. Malamir's here too. Hi, Malamir. It's lovely to see you. And Simon says he was eager. Where's the timestamp? I can see timestamps on StreamYard, Simon. And I'm like 5 minutes behind with the comments, I'm just realising. But that's okay. 4-day weekend in England too. So I'm trying to see, because at the start of a live, it's the most difficult to kind of keep up with the comments because there's so many people saying hi to each other, and you're trying
Right.
to like jump through them but catch any comments that are either speaking to you or like kind of making a point and saying something.
Right.
John's here. Hi, John. says, hi, Chris and everybody, a bit late today. You're not late at all, John. We were just killing time until you got here. Now that you're here, the party can start. Deanne can start drinking her obscenely large glass of wine. Ryan clearly knew that she was going live with a Scotsman, so he thought, oh, I better make this a large glass.
He did know. He knew it was Chris Day.
Zane's here as well. Hi, Zane. How are you? It's annoying, but just yeah, the times.
I get really annoyed with YouTube and like the time that they put on videos. Like it'll say 3 years ago or 1 year ago or whatever instead of the date. Because first off, it's a lie. Like some of them are totally not even right. It says a year ago and it's like 2 years ago. They're incredibly off. And
Yeah,
I'm just
they're
really
rounding.
weird about the dates. And like I'll know when something happened and I want to go look for it, but it's like the dates don't give me any clue because it's just really vague and inaccurate.
So, can you not? I think you might be able to see the dates if you click on more. I'm just going to go in and look.
I think sometimes you can if you go into like the full information of the video, but like when you're just scrolling through, like I was trying to find my live with Jilly the other day because I almost just tapped out and used my old spread that I made, but I made a new one original for today. So
right.
Anyway,
Nice.
these are just things that annoy me.
I was looking on YouTube there to see if I could see, but see because I'm on desktop, everything looks different, and if I click on something, it's going to actually open the video, and we can't be doing with that just now. Simon was saying the college is closed for 2 weeks, but I've not booked time off for this one. Okay, fair enough.
He's just going to enjoy the peace around.
Yeah, true. Saving my holidays. 2 weeks in May/June, 2 in August, 1 in October for Glastonbury, 2 in December for New York.
New York. Let's all go. Let's crash Simon's New York party.
That'd be good. I bet he'd love that.
That would be amazing.
He would absolutely love that. Like everyone just coming to him and he gets to meet everyone. That would be amazing. I would love that if it was me. Let's see. I've seen a live say it was streamed days ago, right after it ended. All right, okay. Kristen says Deanne's going to be buzzed by the end of the live with that barrel of wine.
I just commented to her in the chat too. I said, you're probably right because I don't really drink very often, so it doesn't take much these days. Like post kids, I've become like really just not like my old self.
So Deanne's going to be off her boobies by the end of this live, basically.
Probably. I'll be like, you know what, Chris? No.
That's fine.
Just kidding.
Tammy Pie's here. Hi, Tammy Pie. How are you doing? It's lovely to see you. See New York would be cool. And I'm at the bottom of the comments. How good is that? So yeah, have you been working with any new decks or anything, Deanne?
I have actually. My current kind of go-to is the Marigold Tarot, which is the last thing I showed, I think, like on a Sunday. Some of you know I randomly pop on like on a Sunday afternoon. And I think this is what I showed last time. So this has kind of been my new go-to. This one, and it's amazing. This is the one I bought like purely because I saw on Ramon's channel. Actually, it had been on my mental wish list for a long time. And then I saw Ramon show the Mirror Oracle, which is also by 13th Press. And prior to seeing that video, I was just becoming really obsessive about cardstock. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to buy anything else, which this is a lie for any of you that know me. But for like a week solid, I was like, I'm not buying anything else that is not 300 or above, GSM, German black core, linen, blah, blah, blah. And then Ramon spoke those same words when he was showing the deck. And I immediately went to buy the tarot and the oracle. And they're amazing. and I love them. And since then, I've bought a handful of decks that are nowhere near this kind of card stock, just so you know. But I wish I could be that kind of person, but I just can't. But it is totally my favorite. And, I love to riffle shuffle. So that's what I really want everything to be. It's
Me too.
perfection.
I love riffle shuffling, and I hate when you get a deck that's like you love, but it's just a horrible deck for riffle shuffling. It just breaks my wee heart, so it does.
Right. There's just a piece missing, and you have to just bend over backwards to, it's just not the same.
Yeah, I've been working a lot with This Might Hurt, and it's the mass market French edition of This Might Hurt that I've got.
Okay.
Which comes in a box, kind of it's up there if you can see it, but you can't because of the way the light's showing. You can just see TAR. That's
Yeah.
This Might Hurt. But it's in a box, kind of like like if you've bought any French decks, so the French Lightseers, the French Lumina, even like see decks like the Wild Unknown, the mass market. You know how that comes in a bigger box with the cards in one of these boxes. Well, that's the way that it comes. And the decks that come from France, I've found that their card stock is usually quite similar. It's really, it's durable, it's tough, it's thick, it's quite glossy. So if you don't like glossy card stock, then it might be a bit of an issue. But it's quite tough to riffle shuffle. You can see it. This is kind of a board with me shuffling it. But I'm enjoying it. I think I'm thinking I'm going to take this one when I do my readings at the fair thing. I think I'm going to take this as one of the options for people to get read with, because it's essentially a Rider-Waite Smith, but it's just a wee bit nicer to read than a deck with all the same people essentially.
Right. That's a great idea.
Yeah, but
That's
we'll
actually a
see.
deck I don't have.
Is it?
Yeah, I know. I was a little shocked too. I'm like, oh yeah. And then I was like, wait, I don't have that. But I mean, I know it well in my head, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's a nice deck.
That's a great pick for an event though, for sure.
Yeah, so I've got a couple that I'm going to take. I'm thinking I'm going to take Lightseers, Everyday Enchantment, and This Might Hurt.
Yeah.
And potentially, I might take a standard Rider-Waite Smith and also a Marseille, just like a Grimaud, and just have them in my bag so that if someone comes up and says, I don't know, oh, I only want red with those cards, then after I tell them to go fuck themselves, I can say, hang on, I've got these cards here.
Right.
No, I'm joking. I would never do that. I'm only kidding on. But I'm going to take the Wiser Tarot, but I've kind of I might have showed you. Did I show you what I did with that? Where I wrote on the deacons?
I don't know. If you showed it on like a Thursday in the second half, I probably missed it. But you didn't show me
No,
personally.
oh, that's what I was asking. I thought I might have showed you personally. Hang on, I'll show you what I've got here. Because I've got like a technique for reading timing or just shifts in certain areas in people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got 2 copies of the Wiser Tarot. So I took one of them and got this really nice kind of I wonder if I've got it here handy to show you. Yeah, this is it. It's a metallic silver pen, and it kind of works like a Sharpie, but it doesn't like what I found with like Sharpies and any other basically pen is that the nib gets done in after using it for a bit, and you end up with really thick lines. Whereas it didn't happen with this. So if anyone's looking for a nice silver pen to write on cards with, then I'd recommend this.
Amazing.
Yeah, but so I have reversals shuffled into my decks when I'm using them for timings. So yeah, so like your 6 of, you can kind of see it there. It's catching the
Oh
light
yeah.
a bit, but
Mm-hmm.
the Moon and Taurus for your 6 of Pentacles, and what's that? Mars and Scorpio for your 5 of Cups. I think that might be the deacon that I was born in. That might be my birth deacon.
Okay.
We
I'm
depresso.
2 of swords, I'm pretty sure.
You're 2 of swords. The moon in
Yeah.
Libra, is that?
I think so. Oh, that's
And
pretty.
yeah.
I haven't
So with
seen
the
this deck all the way through even.
have you not the Wiser Tarot?
No. I've seen it
Ah.
like bits and pieces. Oh my god, I swear. Hold on.
More
Bits
wine,
and
that's what's
pizzas, I
needed.
was gonna say. But I've really liked what I've seen, and so maybe that's why I didn't go looking because
Right.
ugh,
Yeah, it's
I know
nice.
it's
It's a nice
beautiful.
deck. It's got a nice card stock to it. It's nice, kind of a matte, it's kind of a satiny matte card stock, I would say. And it's reasonable to riffle shuffle. I would say it's if you riffle shuffle it all the time like I do, then eventually it's going to start bending and bowing. It's not one that's going to spring back,
Right.
forever. But it's nice. I like it. I saw Leander from Liminal Lark. Hi, Leander, how you doing? Um, it's been a hot minute since I caught you on a live. Good to see you, Chris and Deanne. It's lovely to see you too.
Yeah.
Simon's saying, "Oh no, 2 copies." Oh, Simon, it's absolutely fine. Don't worry about it. I like put it this way. See, if I didn't have 2 copies, then I wouldn't have felt comfortable going through and doing this to one of them. So now I've got a copy that doesn't have it's just the way it was intended to be, and I've got this copy that has the deacons on it. And to be honest with you, I can't remember how I got it first. So you may well have been the first to get me it. Simon got me a copy of the Wiser Tarot, so that's why he's asking.
That's sweet.
Anyway, I didn't need to go through a Rider-Waite Smith deck. We've all seen it before.
Oh, it's really pretty though. And we like seeing your
Yeah.
handiwork. I've done that, not with the deacons, but just with like the associations with one of my Light Seers copies,
Oh,
but not the one that
what?
you gave me. See?
Oh, that's okay. See, that wouldn't bother me. What associations do you mean though?
Just because the deacons are for like each like set of degrees, right? So are those the same then as like if I just put, oh, maybe it is because I did the
Is it the
minors and stuff.
astrological correspondences you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's all I've got on there is the astrological correspondences, but each astrological correspondence corresponds to a deacon. So you've got like
Okay.
your moon in Libra as the 2 of Swords. I think the 3 of
Right.
Swords is Saturn in Libra,
Right.
and
For
then the
those
4 will
just
be
few
something.
degrees. Okay.
Yeah, so I
So I
think it's
think that I've done that same thing.
yeah. Oh, that's cool. So yeah, I'm going to take that so as that if someone asks a question that when I've been practicing, what I've found is that it's quite often because like being realistic, right? I'm going to get kind of a questions, and Marion, who I was live with last week, yeah, it was last week.
Yeah.
She was like, she's done these kind of things many times, and she said to me, "Look, to be honest with you, at these type of events, you're not going to be getting people coming and asking about their tarot journey or their spiritual development or anything like that. Your bread and butter is going to be people asking about, you know, like just the down to earth, genuine questions that people you would normally associate people going to like a tarot reader with. Do you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
tell me about my relationship with such and such. Am I going to win at the bingo? Like all of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, like I was practicing with questions like that. So like someone might say, "Oh, when am I going to meet my soulmate?" and all of that kind of a thing. And what I've found is helpful is to do a bit of a timing read on it, but
Yeah.
also then build on that with like a Celtic cross or like with something with another spread. So I wanted to have that option, and then of course I've got my soul cards that will kick everything off. Just the same way as I do with roundtable readings. There'll be a soul card, and they can shuffle whilst they're kind of concentrating on that, and then
That'll
we'll
be
see how it
great.
goes.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
had a lot of people that would ask about like their next like life chapter kind of things. It was strange, like
right.
maybe not strange, and maybe it was just like the time too. Like I would often get things happening in phases. If I did have people asking about relationships and stuff like that, it was um like all at the same time. And then like the next, after a few weeks, then it seemed to like switch to other stuff. But I
Yeah,
feel like I had a lot about like, going back to school or changing jobs and stuff like that. So that's interesting to think about. There were
yeah,
definitely patterns though. And I'd have like the same cards like coming up all day and I had them
yeah.
draw. So, it wasn't me. It's cool
What are
though.
your
You're going to be so great at it.
Well, we'll see. I'm excited and nervous in equal measure, but um, it, it's something I've got to. I'll need to try it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'll be worth a try.
Sure.
Um, I was going to ask what. So you know how you mentioned like having like the same cards coming up and stuff. I was just talking about this last night. So, what are your thoughts on synchronicities? Let's see if you're reading with you with someone else or with a group of people, and there's like quite that you get the synchronicities that always seem to happen. Do you know what I mean? Like even when I've been doing this, um, and people in the chat have been doing it with me, there always seems to be synchronicities with people's kind of a cards that they're pulling. What are your thoughts on as what's behind that, if anything, and what do you think?
I really feel like there are, like when people do a reading for the collective or like, here's a card for our weekend or whatever. I feel like that works because I mean, we can take anything from any card and it can be useful. I feel like for all of us hanging out here, we know there's something useful there. And it's not like, oh, this is your fortune or something, right? Says the person who will also do like future casting. However, I think that works because we're all in that mindset of like, I can take something out of this. But I also think that it hits on themes that people are going through. And I think a lot of us, even if our situations are different, those themes, I think, are kind of similar. And it's like, oh, yeah, I kind of have that going on too, but it's with my kids, or I have that going on and it's with my job. And so I think it's a couple things, and then as far as
Mm,
drawing the same cards, like even when I went back and watched, I don't know, it was probably a month ago now, and I commented to yours that my gift in life was the 10 of wands, and that's what you had drawn for that, and then it keeps coming up in your readings that like other people are doing for you or whatever it is. But really, like, I was watching it back and like kids are running around and I got my headphones on, I'm shuffling, and you said, 10 of wands, and I flipped mine over and it was 10 of wands. So it's like really weird, even when I'm not actually in the chat with everyone, because I
mm,
think that feeds into it too. I think
yeah,
I'm more kind of like vibed in when I'm hanging out with everybody. But when and I do think I think we all kind of like pick up on each other's energy and stuff. But then even when I was
yeah,
watching back that day, it happened. So I don't know. I'm super woo about all that and feel like, I don't know. That one was really weird. It's like, wait, did he just say that? I like backed it up and I was like, okay, yep. But so yeah, I think it's a few different layers of
yeah,
things like that.
yeah, yeah. Same. I think it has to do with the connectivity between the
Mm-hmm.
group. Because I think
Yeah,
you tend to find that I don't know. See if you're in a group of people and you're maybe not just maybe your heart isn't in it, or you're distracted, or you kind of for whatever reason it's just not you're not giving it the same as what you normally do.
right.
I find that in those situations you tend to find that you don't really get as much of that, and maybe it's more a psychological thing where because you're tuned into it, you might notice it more or something. But
Right.
I feel as though it is when you're like properly, because you're connecting with people, and when you're properly in it, that's when you see the kind of the synchronicities come up. So I think it's as much as it sounds really woo to say it, like I think it's like kind of I suppose it's a wee testimony to the fact that it is kind of a tapping into it's tapping into your vibe, your energy, however you want to put it.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you're connecting with somebody else, then it makes sense that you're going to see a similar kind of a similar
Yep,
theme coming out.
yep, totally.
But yeah, it was just after we were talking about it last night, and then when you said that, I was just keen to. I was just interested in what you thought. Well, let me catch up with comments dead quickly, and then we can maybe kick off with the spread if you wanted, Deanne.
Yeah, for sure.
Jonathan says there's just something about the perfect riffle shuffle versus just getting it to shuffle. Yeah, definitely. There
Right.
really is. I've got see my copy of the Shining Tribe Tarot, Rachel's Shining Tribe deck. That is an absolute. That is the perfect. No, I challenge anyone to find an issue with that card stock because it's not thin like your well, actually, it is a Llewellyn deck, but I'm pretty sure it's like a thicker card stock. In fact, Simon, you've got the deck, I'm pretty sure. And I know you're a wee bit of a secret card stock, not so secret card stock snob. So, um, what are your thoughts on the card stock of that deck, Simon? Because I'm pretty sure that that's good enough to pass the Simon test, but it passes my test in that it's a really good riffle shuffler. Um, so yeah, I'm going off on tangents, aren't I?
That's okay. I was just looking for the
Um,
spread, so I know what I'm doing.
no worries. Let's see. Donna asked, why did you decide to get the French edition? So the French edition, I got this, I don't know when, a couple of years back, when the French edition was the only one that was available, or it was the only mass market that was available. So that was I think this came out just before the English edition. I might have got that wrong, but I certainly was only aware of the French edition being out. So that was why I decided to go with that.
That sounds familiar. I
Um,
feel like I remember when you got that. Then I think that
yeah,
was the issue. Like you couldn't get it there.
yeah. I don't mind French titles. I, I did French at school. I can kind of find my way around French.
See?
Certainly the tarot words. I know what all of the tarot words are, so I can easily read a French titles deck. It doesn't bother me. Lightseers is a crowd pleaser. Yeah, that's true. Um, Donna says I have the French edition of the Encore Tarot, and it's impossible for me to riffle. Yeah, I think sometimes Chiro's decks are quite difficult. I know that the Legacy of the Divine, that's Llewellyn cardstock, and that's a nice riffler. But yeah, no, it's. I think it's if it's thicker, then it would be. Gerald likes this might hurt. It works. It
Or
works for maybe for a
yeah.
variety of people. And then Chris is modding his decks. Love it. Yeah. I'm a I'm, I'm a deck modder. I don't do it very often, but I'm not scared to mod decks when when it takes my fancy. Simon says so pleased the Lumina has been released mass market in English. That'll be good.
I have an indie copy of that.
Of the Lumina.
Hmm.
Oh, very nice. What's the
Or I
card
don't
stock like in
I
that?
think
Do you know?
so. It's it's okay. Um it's a little stiff, but not terrible. Or like maybe not stiff, but it feels like I definitely haven't riffled it, but that's only because I might have like kind of like drop riffled it, but not really gotten into it because I don't know. Am I gonna sell that someday? I don't know. It's not the worst. But I kind of prefer the Oracle, so I just don't use it very often. And now that I say the
Right.
indie version, I don't know if it is, but it's one that's like worth more. It's in like the big rectangle box. It might be a second edition, but still like, I don't
Right.
know, super valuable.
Nice. Malamia loves the Wiser these days, but always use multiple decks on any given day. Yeah, I've seen your spreads, Malamia. You say that, but my question back to you is how many decks are you able to use before Goliath decides to come and sit on your tarot spread? Um, Let's see. Wiser looks nice, says Sandra. I don't have it. The Wiser was a hit when I used it, but the Tarot of Curious Creatures by Chris Ann was the one that I got most love from the crowds at the events. I read that. That's interesting because that is a
Same.
deck that I have never been drawn to. Neither have.
Same.
Something about animal heads on human bodies that just doesn't tickle my pickle.
Not in it.
Let's see. Donna's saying, I think Chris doesn't like anthropomorphism. You're ahead of me, Donna. Let's see.
Donna's mind, by the way. Can we take a moment and appreciate Donna's memory because she just
Yeah.
knows it all, I feel like.
You've got a really good memory as well, by the way, Deanne.
Usually.
You've got an excellent memory. You remember things about me that I don't remember about me. You'll say things to me and I'll be like, oh yeah, that's right. How did she fucking know that? And then I'm like, it's like I told you like 3 years ago in a message or something.
I'm like, oh, that one Tuesday we were chatting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Malamir saying not a fan of anthropomorphized animals either, but I know that some folk love those types of decks. Yeah, do you know what? See if it works for people, then why not? No animals were harmed in the making of that deck, so
Right.
you know what I mean? Yeah, Robin, it's not Robin. Gerald says, when am I getting laid or when am I getting paid readings? Yeah. Robin says, been listening from my meal prep area, back now and scrolling to see texts that I missed. Trisha Wartith is here. She says, hi, Chris and Deanne and chat. Hi, Trisha. It's lovely to see you. Sorry, a message popped up on my screen there. My WhatsApp is connected to my computer, so anytime I get a WhatsApp message now, it pops up on my computer, which is distracting. I have a reading event on Monday for the eclipse. I'm excited and nervous too. You'll be brilliant, Kristen. Remember, you were nervous before, and we all told you were going to be great, and then you were great, so you'll be fine. Jonathan says, many people come with their life struggles and ask for a general reading, or like Deanne is saying, people want to know about their next chapter in life after the end of something. Right, okay.
And that's fair. I should say what I offered mostly was an open reading. And then I said, what I usually do is this. And then if you have something you want to ask me, that's fine. And we'll do that. But if we go with my way, then we'll just dive in and see what there is. And then if you have any questions about it, and really maybe twice ever, and I did it for, I don't know, a handful of years, did someone say, the only thing we didn't touch on was this other thing I really want to know about. And I'm like, no problem. Let's do that over here. And I would just kind of add on to it. But I mean, honestly, most of the time it would just go to what they were, had on their mind. But
yeah, that's good. That's good. Well, fingers crossed.
I feel like you're going to love it.
I hope so. I'm still needing to think about spreads, actually, what spreads I'm going to use, but I've got admin stuff I need to sort out for it, so I feel like spreads can wait.
Right.
Can always go with a good old-fashioned Celtic cross,
Right. And like your element stuff is really good too. I feel like that's kind of it's sort of like for tarot people, but I feel like the way you do that would make sense for people. It would be easy enough to understand.
Yeah. I suppose the idea is to have a few spreads under my belt that I'm really comfortable with, that, depending on the question, I can fall back on whatever spread. Let's see. Robin says, visiting in December, Simon. You keep procrastinating 4th or 5th attempt now. I'm so frustrated.
Aww.
Don't worry, you'll see
It's
him
okay.
soon, Robin. see. Oh, that's interesting. Marita says, I see curious creatures as a modern Egyptian gods deck. That's funny you say that because I suppose that's exactly what the Egyptian gods do, don't they? The
Good
Egyptian gods
point.
are, and I love Egyptian stuff, like Egyptian mythology. Um, yeah, that is a good point. Let's see.
Okay, so I see I'm jumping in a little bit, but Robin said, does
Okay.
anybody here like Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse, but doesn't like the Curious Creatures or Granville, which I don't know what that is, but I'm assuming another anthropomorphic, and explain it to me? I can. I'm not huge on like those cartoons in particular, but the whole body is Bugs Bunny is like fully a rabbit. He's like standing up and talking, but he doesn't have like a human body. So that's my hang up. That's my issue. It's like
I
disembodied and then reattached.
kind of, but he kind of does as well, doesn't he? Because he's standing up and he's got this wee skinny humanish body.
But it's all like one thing. He's all gray and white. So I mean, I get he's walking like a human, but he doesn't have like a human body and like a blazer and, loafers and stuff. And I can't handle it. Ugh.
Uh, um, let's see. Karen is here. Hi, Karen, and so is Laura. Hi, Laura. Um, Shining Tribe has pretty standard card stock. Yeah, but it's nice. I have 2 copies of the Indie Lumina. Was once my all-time favorite deck. Love the card stock. That's interesting. I'm loving the new voice right now. Impossible to shuffle, but such a great reader. Yeah, yeah, that's true. I was kind of thinking about taking that with me, but I'm kind of telling myself I'm not going to take any of my my indie decks, just because I like people to shuffle my cards. I want people to be immersed in it and be part of the experience. I don't really want to be. I've never been one of those readers who's like, no one can touch my cards. Like I want everyone to be like, get their stink all over them and get shuffled right into these cards, so they can't deny that it's them.
Right.
So I kind of don't really want to take any kind of a more, more valuable or more precious decks with me because I don't want them getting wrecked. So yeah, that's my thought on that. But I'm excited. I've got I pre-ordered the mass market version of the Afro Goddess Tarot, and I think that'll be coming in a few, maybe next week, maybe the week after, because I'm sure it releases on the 1st.
Oh, gotcha.
So which will be Monday. So should hopefully get that soon. I might take that as well because I've got my indie version of it, which is my nice version of it. We'll see. Oh yeah, I see Robin's Bugs Bunny question.
It's true. It's true. But it's just the body, like I don't even know what to call it. Like it's all one thing that matches. It's not like chopped up parts. Oh,
Chopped up parts. Oh gosh, I hope not.
yeah, that's what it looks like to me. Oh,
Robin says, Donna says that we're adorable, by the way.
oh yeah, I put some hearts back to her.
um,
I'm pretty sure I told you happy anniversary this year, and you're like, oh yeah, that's today.
yeah. Yours
I'm
is
like,
the same, isn't it?
well, that was for your wedding anniversary though, but like our date
Oh,
anniversary is are both St.
It's the
Patrick's Day.
same.
But in January, I was like, hey, happy anniversary. Like, oh, yeah. I'm like, thanks. Good thing I caught you early in the day.
True. Um, let's see. Jan would disagree. Lately, I've been annoyingly forgetful. I blame sleep deprivation, says Donna.
Oh, see, and that's how I feel. Like it's selective for me. I kind of have a good memory about certain things, but like my day to day, oh, Vela is sleeping thankfully much better these days. And far and away is a better sleeper than Max ever was, like up until he was 3 years old. Let me just say and be
Yeah.
thankful for that. But I'm also like older. So thank you to my second child for making me not totally insane with lack of sleep like Max did. He broke my brain for real. So
Oh. Oh. And now look at him.
I know. So precious.
Karen says, Chris, I'm excited. I had Anna Turian's stamp of approval on my first poem for the Abyss deck. She left a beautiful comment on my video. It made my day. If I can just find my cat, Julie, all would be good again. Oh, you've lost your cat. You just find my cat, Julie, all would be good again. Oh, I hope she turns up, Karen. That's a wee shame. We don't like to hear that. Well, don't know. Everyone send good energy Karen's way and help Julie find her way home. Robin's here from Robin's Reflections. Hi, Robin. Robin has an amazing channel, people, by the way. So Robin is actually, Robin, correct me if I'm talking shite here and I've misremembered, but I think that you've got a copy of the Afro Goddess Mass Market Edition, and you've done a fantastic walkthrough of it. So thank you for that, because it's thanks to you that I've actually been able to see it. And as soon as I saw your video, I went and pre-ordered it on Oneness Emporium, which is a nice place that we have here that does mass market decks, but with like indie, like packaged up nicely like indie decks. It's really good. So thank you for that. And also it was because of your review of Radical Tarot that I purchased the audiobook and listened to it. And I have recommended it to several people. I've even gifted it to Malamir to listen to. So Robin's Reflections, everyone, let me quickly stick a wee link to Robin's channel in the chat, actually. Just whilst we're here. No, that's not what we wanted, Chris. Talk amongst yourselves. There we go. Right. Everyone go subscribe to Robin if you haven't already. Kristen's date of anniversary is Halloween. My birthday is the day after Halloween. And have I ever told you about when I was born? Like pretty much at the exact same. Did you message me the other day and say, like, tell me something about when you were born, or when? Maybe
Or
I'm talking
Kristen.
rubbish. You, Deanne, did you?
It could have been me because I do that kind of stuff a lot to people, but I don't think so. But I did find out the other day that I was born. I mean, I've known my birth time is 2:53 in the
It
morning.
was you. Yeah,
Really?
that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Okay, see, I don't remember telling you that. So I have no idea. That's so weird. Okay, so yeah, my great grandma died at 2:53 in the morning, and my mom and uncle had recently found her journal and like all the stuff that they had from her house, and they could make out like what time my mom was born. So now I can do her star chart finally. I'm not like super, you know, I used to do those, but I told her I would draw one up for her since we had a birth time now. And then they also found out like that my grandma had recorded in there what time her mom had passed. And then that's what time I was born. Like not on the same days or anything like that, you know, years and years apart. But I thought, you know, that's pretty specific.
So, funny story. My great grandma, so this is my mum's dad's mum,
Okay.
died at the exact same time I was born, probably within the same minute.
See,
Um,
that's super crazy.
yeah, because um, she was one of these women who loved her work. She owned a fruit market, and she just loved her job. That fruit market was her life. Like that was everything to her. That and my papa, her boy. Um, but like my papa used to drive her to the like because my papa worked there as well. Like he took over it when she passed away. But
Okay.
he would drive her to work, and she would be jumping out of the van before he'd even stopped it.
Oh my
That was
gosh.
how intensely she loved. So on the day that she passed away, she went home from work, feeling unwell. And that was really not like her, like to not be at her work, like really not
Yeah.
like her at all. Um, and yeah, like between, I think they just knew. Because my papa must have like kind of a checked in or something. Um, and it was obviously checking in with my mum, who's his daughter, I was her first child, so
Right.
I was his first grandchild. Um,
Yeah.
so obviously that it would have been an intense time for him. It's actually a real shame for him now I think about it that way. But yeah, like within a minute each other, I think it was.
That's so
And
crazy.
that was All Saints Day. That was the day after Halloween.
Yeah.
Um,
That's really crazy.
yeah. Um, Look at me wittering on, Deanne. Did I not? I told you, like, we'll start the spread at past. But to be
You're
honest,
fine.
it's only 4 cards, so I think we'll probably be fine.
Right.
I do
No,
kind
we'll
of
be
want to
fine.
very quickly catch up with these comments, but I tell you what, don't let me go past 10 o'clock. If it comes
Okay.
to 10 o'clock and I'm still scrolling, then you stop me.
Okay.
So Malamir says, I bet you're not a fan of some medieval art then, where there are human-like faces on animal bodies. Robin says, the thing about curious creatures as I see human bodies is animal characteristics is applied to human behaviour, whereas animal decks ask us to apply animal nature to human behaviour. Okay. I'll be honest, that was too much for my brain to wrap itself around, Robin. But that, I think I think that's more to do with me and the fact that I've had 2 glasses of wine than it is to do with anything that you've said. Um, it's true, unless it's a private event, I tend to only bring mass market decks, says Jonathan. Um, Malamir's date anniversary, engagement anniversary, and wedding anniversary, and her birthday all happened on the 13th of the respective months, and it wasn't on purpose. That's really cool, isn't it?
Mhm.
Um, well, that's sweet. Let's see. No clue what decks to take to the Monday event. I'll take one RWS clone and the Super Lunaris. No clue what else. I mean, if you're happy with those, then stick with that. Unless like, I, I'm not going out my way to take multiple decks. I've just been drawn to take these particular decks. But if you're quite happy with those two, Kristen, my personal feeling is then that those are the decks that you take. Unless within the next couple of days you come across something else and you're like, oh shit, yeah, I really want to take that with me. Like that feels right. Then stick with them. Um, let's see. Robin, I do have a copy. Yes, that was me. I think you will love it, and you can pack it up and take it with you. Yeah, that's true. That's right. So I'm excited to be able to use it, and to let everyone else see it because right now I feel as though it's this precious deck that's on my shelf that I don't really use for other people, which is a shame because it's such a uniquely produced deck as the Afro Goddess. I don't know if I've really told you much about it, Deanne, or if you've heard me witter on about it, but it's got rose petal on the front, but it's got like
Okay.
kind of a gloss finish on the back. So you know how the problem with rose petal is like it's really not glidey at all, like to a
Mhm.
point where it actually is reasonably hard to shuffle. And when you're riffle shuffling, there's no bridging that fucker. Like it's just too
Right.
much. And it's really hard to, like, you know, when you can't bridge properly, you do that thing where you just push them together.
Right.
So you do like that.
Yeah.
So that is like when I try and do that with my Brady tarot, like it's a proper workout trying to push those two halves of the deck together.
Right.
But with Afro Goddess, because of the gloss on the back, it's actually glides really nicely, even though it's a beautiful rose petal deck. Like it's
Right.
such a good idea, and I'm
I was just
surprised
going to
that
say that's really smart.
it is. I'm surprised that lots of other people haven't picked up on it.
Yeah.
Um,
That's a great
but
idea.
it's like, I mean, the deck even comes like with a wee magnifying glass. It's like Andrea Furtick she's done such an amazing job with it. But anyway, I'm fanboying and I'm supposed to be going through comments. Got 3 minutes left. Let's see. Says, my goodness, Radical Tarot is fantastic. It's the book that I've been recommending to any person asking me for a tarot book now. I needed the fresh honesty of that one. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I am a hardcore Rachel Pollock 78 Degrees of Wisdom fan. But I've definitely, like, to me, it has the feeling of 78 Degrees of Wisdom, but it feels like it's, with 78 Degrees, it's still fantastic. It is still my favorite book, but I can tell that it's been written in a different time when things were a wee bit different. Whereas this one just feels like it's been brought right smack bang into the modern, it's been modernized.
Right.
But it still has that nice feel to it. I just love it. Anyway, Robin says you are your own great grandma. I want to do a birth chart from my spouse, but they don't have the specific time of birth. Oh, for Corey, right? Okay.
You never know when someone will find it in a journal.
Let's see. My friend Henry always saw the number 1234, 12:34 on the clock all the time. That's the time that he died, and it was the time his casket was lowered into the grave. Wow. Oh wow, that's really something, isn't it? Like that's food for thought. Now I'm going to think, are there any times that I see on the clock all the time? And I'm going to
I'm
be
not
like,
going to be
no,
scared.
every day at that time. But wow, I don't know. I want to say that's amazing, but that's not really the right word to use in that context. But it's some stuff like that. It's quite. I don't know. It could be quite impactful, can't it? See. Oh, that's nice, Trisha. Thank you. You brought happiness in a time that would have been sadness. Yeah, I suppose. My gran, who was like, so I was saying it's my papa's mother, his wife, my gran. Um, I mean, it would have been a sad time for her because it was her mother-in-law. But like, I think she was just like she was just smitten because I was her first grandchild. Apparently, she like wouldn't let anyone near me. This is my gran that died a few years back from
Yeah.
motor neurons disease. But like, yeah, apparently she was like she wouldn't let anybody anywhere near me. Like, no, she was just hogging me all the time. So yeah,
That's the best.
yeah. Yeah, there is a spread, Jane. So Deanne has brought a spread. We're going to kind of all do it. I think, Deanne, are we reading for each other?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, exciting stuff. So everyone grab your cards if you're joining in. Deanne will tell us what the prompts are. I can pop them in the chat. It's going to be a 4-card spread. Is there any particular spread pattern, Deanne, or just whatever people think?
No pattern really. And I just made it up. I'm sure there's something similar, but I just couldn't really find one I liked. So this is just like a forecast for April, and then there's 4 questions within it. So the first one is how to challenge yourself. And I was just kind of picking one thing for each suit, like inspired by each suit, but you just draw like normal.
Right.
So how to challenge yourself. And this would be like for the month of April. And then do you want me to just read them all out right now or just do one at a time? We usually do one.
Whatever you think. Whatever you feel would work best.
Let's just go one. Let's focus on that. So for the month of April, I figured since we're so close to the end of March, and I always need a few days to like get my stuff together when I get a reading. So this will give everyone a few days to get your mindset going to your cards. So the first one, how to challenge yourself. And I am reading for you. I can't forget.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, Jonathan's grabbing the Mind's Eye Tarot. I don't think I even know that.
Okay. Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
You go.
Okay. The Knight of Pentacles.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So if this is how you have to challenge yourself, Deanne, I could go one of 2 ways with this actually. Sometimes when I get this card as your kind of a challenge card, I'm like, well I ask myself, right, what is the Knight of Pentacles' challenge? But then at other times I'm like, right, well, what does the Knight of Pentacles say to us? And is that the challenge? Do you know what I mean? And
Right.
I think depending on how you see it, it could be one of 2 ways. I feel as though what this is saying is like you do so much for so many people. So you've got so much on. You've always, and the thing is, you're always like, when I message you, you're always like right there. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like you're the kind of person who, whenever someone needs you, you're always there for them. Do you know what I mean?
That's true.
So I feel like the message that this has for you and what your challenge is to maybe just, I mean, the Knight is still a worker bee. He's still kind of getting the stuff done. But I feel like it's just like, do you know what? Take some time to just lessen the pace a wee bit. Treat yourself, spoil yourself, think about put yourself first for once. And yeah, just kind of lessen that pace, take some of that pressure off. And just you might find that just with that wee bit of extra headspace, you feel that you can actually manage things, get things done in a much more kind of a way that better serves you, I guess, is how I feel about that.
That's totally right on. And I've been kind of thinking about that the past week or maybe even more. And this week, I've been so like, I've hardly done anything for work. I'm working and I'm there and I'm available. And by there, I mean like on my computer, but I'm not like processing like at the pace that I could be. And I'm not missing any deadlines because my whole stuff like runs on like a month basis at work. And it's thankfully just me that does my little section of it. And I love that. but I mean, I've just been so distracted and like thinking about all these other things I want to do like around the house that I just get paralyzed and don't do anything, which is something I struggle with all the time anyway. But this week has been just awful. And it could also be because, it's spring break, Max is home, and I'm trying to like enjoy some of that time and not just be like, I'm working, I'm working, I'm working. And so yeah, that's right on. And I've been trying to just kind of ease myself into, I'm like, okay, April is like a breath of fresh air. It's going to actually get springy. I'm just going to do baby steps for these things I want to accomplish instead of feeling like I'm not doing anything. And, I always get through it all. And I can either feel rushed doing it or I can just chill for a bit and it's still going to get done and just kind of do a smaller step. So I feel like that makes a ton of sense.
Good.
Okay. So for you, I have
Hang on,
the
sorry,
Hermit.
2 seconds, Deanne. Robin's been high maintenance. 2 wee minutes.
Oh yeah, it is nice to have that though, especially for people like me who are usually like cooking right now and like
I'll
trying to
stick
pull
it there.
cards.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about Thursdays, but I've made like garlic chicken enchiladas so many times while you're live. That's like the Chris special dinner. That's
Is it really?
like
I didn't
cooking.
know
I feel like
that.
a quarter of the time that's what I'm making on Thursdays, maybe more. So
Right.
I'm using the Way Home Tarot, by the way. Um,
Mhm.
and this is the Hermit, and it is one of my totally favorite cards in this deck. And it has a little tiny firefly by it. So your challenge, in the month of starting to do readings in person is to remember to take some time out for yourself and cozy up and have some movie nights, which you're kind of getting a jump on that because doing that this weekend and stuff, but just really I think especially like after the event, um when I first started doing in-person readings, I had like a raging headache when I was done every time because I just like poured everything out and was just super. It's more intense in person, but I feel like you're way more grounded. So I feel like that won't be so much of an issue. But I was thinking about this aspect of just like recharging and chill out and don't feel like, oh, I'm not doing anything because that is doing something for yourself, basically. So, um, yeah, take some chill out time. I hope there's no snow during that, but this kind of feeling.
Oh, thank you so much. No, that's. I think it is really important to remember to kind of adjust. Like when we're doing this kind of a thing, it's easy to forget that it does take a lot out of you,
Mhm.
and you need to kind of almost like remember to recharge that. Um, suppose whatever you like to think of it as being, recharge your inner self or recharge that well,
Right,
that you draw your energy from.
right.
Um, so yeah, thank you. I
Yeah, for sure.
probably needed to hear that more than I want to admit.
Okay, so the second one is how to experience joy. And so I kept
Um,
thinking about like how to find joy, but I didn't want to make it seem like reaching. So, and I just feel like I have to say that. So, how to experience joy in the month of April. This was my like cups inspiration question.
right.
Finally.
You want me to go first again?
Sure.
So for you, you've actually got the sun, which is sweet.
Oh,
This sun
nice.
card's beautiful, by the way. Look at the. I've just noticed, like it's the the kid is on this dog,
So cute.
and then the dog has got the wee puppy behind it.
That's awesome.
So you've got a parent dog, and you've got two children. You've got a puppy and a child. So I mean, let's start with the obvious. You experience joy with your two little ones. Um, I think as well, just like it feels like April is going to be genuinely like a really kind of a joyful time for you. You're going to be surrounded by opportunities for that, and I don't think that you're going to be short on that. So I feel like how you experience it is just kind of a just turn up. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
And I suppose immerse yourself in the joy that's all around you. Um, Also, we might find that the sun is kind of going to have its hat on a wee bit more in April. Hopefully, fingers crossed, the sun will be coming back out a lot more. So there's that kind of obviously there's that vitamin D that has that kind of a really natural healing effect on us anyway. It makes us feel much more happy and joyful. So there's the kind of I suppose the literal element to it as well. I always find that the sun is kind of as well. See, because we've got this wall, and like kind of almost like the sunflowers, like they create this barrier, you know. So it feels like it talks a bit about a safe space, and
Okay.
sometimes that safe space can be a bit of a crutch to people, because sometimes that safe space becomes a bit like, right, I'm just kind of going to stay in this comfort zone, and I'm not going to move on and deal with the stuff that judgment has in store for me, the judgment card, I mean.
Yeah.
But in a really positive way as well, though. The sun for me talks about a safe space. So how you experience joy is all of those things that I've mentioned, but also it feels like you've got a really good kind of a safe space, a really good environment where you can feel joyful, you can feel like happy and content and all that stuff. So I suppose that was a real mishmash of an answer for you there.
No, that makes
But
sense.
that's yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of like the first thing I think of was just like literally being outside because sometimes I'm not like the most, okay, let's get up and, I'll run out there, especially if it's not just like my perfect temperature outside. I'm a delicate
Mm.
flower, and if it's too windy, like my nerve problem in my face is going to kick off. I don't want to get like all bundled up. I'm just, whatever. But that was my first thought, that I'll be able to more like readily get outside because we've gone back into cold here and all of that. And then also, Max has a couple of school events going on in April that, like at the end of the month, at the beginning of the month, he has like his music program where they show us what they've been doing in music class. And so he's really excited that me and Ryan and Vela all get to go and like see him do that. And then at the end of the month, they have spring fling, and so they have like food trucks and silent auctions for these gift baskets with like toys and stuff, and I'm like just all this fun stuff, and he's just excited for us to like meet his school friends and all of that. So those are kind of like bookends on the month, and then I think just getting outside and having a good time all together too. So
Yeah.
makes perfect sense. And so I have for you the Father of Wands. And so these quartz are really cool because they have like the things like embodied. It's not, depicting like an actual person. It's just like showing like their characteristic internally or whatever, which I super love. So how to experience joy. This is like super go-getter energy, but still has that stability and that groundedness um, of the king, but like really leaning into, and really opposite of this. So it's like, this is how to challenge yourself. It may be because of this, like, it seems like the joy is going to come from all these activities, which is great, but then just have that recharge time. But, yeah, so if there's, fun stuff going on, cool social things, I mean, you and Sandy are endlessly cool and like always out doing things. So,
Are
it
we?
seems like that to me, I hardly go anywhere. And I'm always like, oh, you're doing this, you're doing that. It's great. So maybe even more. And if you feel like, are we, then maybe there's more super cool stuff. But and again, it can be kind of that like springtime like awakening to like, oh, it's just more motivating, like, okay, let's go, do something fun. So um this, I think, again, the balance, because I could say that for a lot of the wands cards, especially this is, how to find, especially, excuse me, I'm an English major. My goodness. Anyway, that I could say that for a lot of the wands cards. So I feel like the important piece of it here is that, you're not getting carried away with it. Like in the Eight of Wands might be, it seems like this ties together well, and that, you have that groundedness, you have the experience of it, and, you can kind of get out and do some new things.
Nice. Thank you.
I realized that for the last one, we didn't go back to the chat. I'm like reading some people's cards.
I was just thinking that too, but it's often nice. I like to kind of compare both, or compare a couple of cards.
Oh,
so
nice.
it's fine. We can go back and do it for and look at a few. So I never asked, but a couple of people have told me anyway. But what decks are y'all using? Let me know. So Jonathan is grabbing the Mind's Eye Tarot. Said that. Debbie got the Chariot card. Debbie, I'm really interested. Can you tell me what your birth cards are? I'm interested in where the Chariot falls on your kind of a birth card tree of life type thing. Or give me your birth date and I'll work it out. But anyway, so yeah, the Chariot for how to challenge yourself. I mean, that's interesting. That's kind of a to me, that's like wrangling everything together. It's like kind of a dealing with all the stuff that life throws at you, and kind of a channeling those energies in such a way that you're driving yourself forward. So that's really cool. Robin says the Ace of Coins, start accounting for completed new achievements. Nice, Robin. See, Malamy is using the Cat Aura Tarot, the prototype, which is one that I've got actually. Lottie got the Devil. So how to challenge yourself as the Devil, Lottie? That's interesting. So Lottie, would it be fair of me to maybe say that you might be a wee bit of an overthinker, and that you maybe stop yourself from doing things that you really enjoy because you think of all the ways that it could possibly go wrong? If that is the truth, then what I think the Devil is saying to you, that how to challenge yourself is actually to maybe take a risk every now and then, maybe to kind of if it's in your heart and it's in your desires, then go for it. And by all means, like don't do anything, don't do anything that's going to put you in any harm, obviously. But maybe kind of try and have a few fuck it moments where you're like, fuck it, I'm just going to go and do this, to kind of take yourself out of that analysis paralysis. That's how I would see the Devil there anyway. Deanne, you feel free to jump in. Jump in if you see a card that you want to chat about, then go for it. Jonathan's got the Ten of Pentacles as his challenge. How do you see the Ten of Pentacles, Deanne? Ten of Pentacles is a card that can be quite difficult to read in certain contexts.
It is. I feel like it's a really big, open thing. So like my first thing is like fulfillment in community. Like that's what I think, that there's this fulfillment and completion in terms of community somehow, even for people who are not super involved in the literal community, because there are people like that. They're like, I'm not really, out there doing these kinds of things. It can be like a bit of a twin to the Ten of Cups and like this family connection thing. And then, but as opposed to the cups and just being that raw emotion and that kind of connection, that the pentacles move into, completion for what you're building, like family legacy type stuff. And it could be gatherings, because when I think like Ten of Cups, I think my family in this house usually. When I see Ten of Pence and I have like that family feeling about it, it's like, my bigger extended family. Like tomorrow I'm having 4 of well, they're not really nieces and nephews, they're cousins, but they're like the next generation down. So I'm having 4 of them stay the night tomorrow night. And so that's more to me like the community aspect. Like I'm watching my cousin's kids while he takes his wife to Canada for her birthday. So it's like, what are the connections you're making that then have this ripple effect out to other people and not just like in like the family bubble? So I don't know. It's tricky. It can be about money, physical wellness. It's like a really big thing. And so really though I think about like connection. And so
Yeah.
for Jonathan, who is someone who is in the community a lot, right? Like doing readings, doing body work, healing work on people. I would say, probably to just tune in to make sure that that fulfillment piece of it is there, that he's feeling fulfilled by that and not stretching himself too thin, maybe, which again, it's like I'm taking what I know about the person and that card and what he does. So it's helpful because then, I mean, but that's still just a feeling I get, like making sure that there is still that fulfillment piece while you're connecting and they're not just giving it all away.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I definitely like agree about on that community aspect. See, we were having a conversation there when I was talking about this reading event that I'm doing, and Jonathan was talking about, his experience from doing, from reading for lots of people himself in person, and like that kind of a imparting of like kind of a knowledge and helping me in that way. That to me is like a Ten of Pentacles moment. Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
tens for me are like you're renewing the cycle, so it's like you've kind of done the journey for yourself, and now you're helping someone else on their journey. So it
Yep.
is kind of like a new beginning, but I just suppose it's a new beginning for me rather than for you. But it's like kind of you're imparting wisdom. And the Ten
Yep.
of Pentacles, the Tarot of the Abyss has a stunning Ten of Pentacles that really vibes with how I read it. It's that kind of you see the two hands.
Yeah.
And for me, it's that kind of a legacy type card, you know. So even conversations like what we've just been having, Jonathan, that's Ten of Pentacles energy. If you are kind of if you're creating a safe space for your family, for example, to be abundant and to grow and to feel safe and secure, if you're providing or if you're contributing to provide that for your family, that's Ten of Pentacles energy, you know.
Yep.
Um, so I suppose your child, maybe you're going to have to teach Apollo something new, new in April. Maybe he's got a new lesson that he needs to learn, and you need to teach him it, and that's maybe your Ten of Pentacles challenge. Who knows? Um, but so Debbie's using the Wandering Star. She's been giving me great readings this week. Um, Donna has the Eight of Wands and the Four of Swords reversed popped up at the same time. They seem related. Okay, interesting. So that is really interesting actually, because you've got the Eight of Wands, which typically is about that speed and that movement. And Donna, like we've spoke, when we've been doing this before, you've kind of been quite open about, that you've in a bit of a situation right now where you are going through something like that, where it is that I think it was like the Eight of Swords we talked about in relation to it before. So your challenge right now, I suppose it would make sense that it's that swift movement of the Eight of Wands, and then the Four of Swords, which is usually the rest card, but it's reversed.
Reverse, yeah.
Um, so it's like that feels like it's right for you anyway.
Like really
Um,
pushing through something, but slow down a
yeah,
little bit, but don't stop. That's kind of what I.
yeah, exactly. I'm using tarot the uh, Carlotides. Carlotides. I'm not really sure how you pronounce that. Um, let's see. Kristen says she's got the Nine of Swords, so challenge my worst case scenario fears. Um,
Oh yeah.
Malamir's got the Seven of Pentacles, which shows the cat nesting in a magical nest. So I need to keep resting with creative energy, but rest and no big efforts. Yeah, and that will be that Seven of Pentacles for me. That's the wait for the right time. There is return on investment, but you need to wait for the right time. If you pull the cake out of the oven too early, then it's not going to cook properly. Um, and I feel like that feels like it's right for you as it's like wait for the right time to act, and yeah, you kind of you have to know how long to cook a cake for. To use this stupid analogy that I've apparently picked out the recesses of my brain. Um, so for you, you need to kind of know your own limits and stuff. And yeah, I can imagine because I've known Malamir for years, and I know how inspiringly, I don't know, but I know how active and how just how amazing she is in terms of like just like she can put her mind to anything, I feel. So I can imagine that being in that Seven of Pentacles, kind of a similar to like where like Donna finds herself, what we were saying to Donna, like I can imagine that would be a real challenge for you, as being told that you've got to wait and you've got to take this at a different pace than what you're maybe comfortable with. Robin from Robin's Reflections has got Justice. Interesting. So Justice is your challenge. So again, Justice is it's one of those cards that, depending on the context, depending on what exactly you're kind of looking at, it can be saying different things. Because like I'm a bit of a weirdo with Justice, and Justice is my Malkut. So my mad birth cards are 2 and 11. So Justice is like 2 is up at my Keter, and Justice is down at Malkut. So I mean, justice can be about like contracts, and it can be about legal stuff. It can be about like justice, as in social justice. But for me, it's like, see, like your kind of your natural laws and stuff, like your gravity and like Einstein's and all of that stuff. That to me is all justice as well. It's all anything that can have like a cause and effect type, like a chain of causation. That that to me is justice, covers all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's such a wide range of random stuff that I often find justice quite difficult to read. Not because I don't know what it means, but more because it's just so like such a broad card. And
Yeah.
I suppose that's quite right, because it's right smack bang, if you go by the Smith way ordering, it's smack bang right center of the majors. So it's like the center, it's like the glue that's holding everything together.
Right.
So yeah, what are your thoughts on the Justice card, Deanne?
I think that like my first thought is always, because it's like my card for Libra, and it feels like this like core internal, like I'm gonna make things right kind of attitude. And I feel like growing up, like I was really that. I was relatively quiet and nice and whatever, but like when stuff would happen and I felt like it was really upsetting to me for someone else, right? Like I would just put myself into someone else's business and try to fix the situation. Or like, when I was little, it would be about like, I mean, little, like grade school, like protecting other people and stuff, even though I was like a year younger than everyone and like small, like, I don't know. I just all of a sudden like had this mouth on me and was, like stepping into a fight, but I mean, not really physically, but just telling people off and stuff. People will be like really shocked by it because I don't know, it's just not how I was. But then if something like really
Yeah,
triggered me, then I was just like in full force. So for me, I feel like a lot of time that's the basis of it. Like we need to make this thing right, whether it's about details on a contract or someone's messing with someone or yourself and things like that. So it's kind of getting to the core of, okay, what is the problem? Like the person that gets that justice card is the fixer.
yeah, nice. Um, let's see. I'm going to whiz through because I'm conscious I'm quite far behind. Sorry, folks. Um, Marita's got the Ace of Cups and also just pulled New Beginnings card from the Sacred Forest Oracle before we started, so that's quite cool. Let's see. Liz has also got the Ten of Pentacles, so Jonathan had the Ten of Pentacles as well. So there we go. We've got a
See?
synchronicity already.
They're coming up.
I know. The Six of Wands from the Gilded Tarot for Karen. Robin's telling us about our Justice card. So it depicts a cat holding a mouse captive sitting next to the scales. My first thought was get my taxes done on time.
That's not a bad one. Because that's the challenge, right? That was her one.
Yeah. The Eight of Wands for Jane. So Donna had the Eight of Wands as well. Tony says, one sword of justice, I reap what has been sown for April using the arcane warrior. So is that justice as well, the same as Robin? Or is that a different? I'm not sure. Is that like more like an oracle deck that uses
Sword of
symbols?
justice, I reap what has been
Arcane
sown.
warrior?
I don't know. Tony's so fancy.
Tony, you're a fancy bitch. Let's see. Right, so this must so 2 Knight of Wands for Liz. Could be fun. So that was how to experience joy.
Yeah.
Okay. So Page of Wands from the Ink Witch for Jane.
Oh, see, more 2 Page of Wands, right? Oh no, the Knight.
The
The
Knight and the
Knight, the
Page.
Page, and Chris's Father of Wands.
Yeah. So we've got 3 out of the 4 fire courts for
Right.
one position.
Right.
And we've only read out 3 people. The Knight of Pentacles for Kristen. I can experience joy by buying more tarot decks, but seriously, I can find joy by being more conscious of my bodily needs.
Or
Robin
both.
started with the Ace of Coins and then the Emperor.
Oh,
So
that's
feel well suited with my own confidence. Nice. I like that.
yeah, that's a good combo.
Definitely. Let's see. 10 of Pentacles and 7 of Swords for Jonathan. 7 of Swords is how you're experiencing joy. So you're going to do something your way, Jonathan. You're going to do something completely like, you're going to find your own way of doing it, which now that the words are coming out of my mouth, sounds like a lot like you. And I say that in the most loving and in the best way, in the best possible way. But yeah, I like it. Either that or you're going to, I don't know, steal a packet of chewing gum from the store. See, 9 of Wands for Lottie. The 2 of Swords for Debbie. Experience joy by choosing it. Yeah, by allowing yourself to. The 8 of Discs for Tony. I am prudently honing my craft. Finding joy in all tasks undertaken. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I think not we, but me, like when I'm kind of in this headspace, when I'm pulling cards and when I'm just doing this kind of thing, I kind of like in my own head, I almost like not look down on them, the kind of the everyday life stuff, but it's like I don't know, I don't want to sound like a pure prick here, but it's almost like you kind of you feel like you're removing yourself from that place, and you can sometimes get a wee bit arrogant towards like the good hard work and the everyday life stuff, getting in
Right.
and amongst it. But I think that it's good to it's like there is a lot of joy to be had, and just
Right.
remembering that we are all physical human beings, and it's as much as it's our job to you know to think and feel, it's also our job to be present and to embody and yeah, to act on stuff and be there. Um, so yeah, love that. Liz got the 2 of Pentacles. Okay, so maybe you how you experience joy, Liz, is maybe not taking on so much. Maybe kind of trying to put down some of those plates that you're trying to spin and concentrate on the stuff that's really important. and maybe just give yourself a wee bit more time to experience joy rather than trying to do so much, is what that might say to me. Donna got the Hierophant. It shows a Pope-like figure having tea with a bunny. Experience joy by having a cozy chat with a mentor. Yeah, or just taking advice, you know. The Hierophant for me is teacher energy, and it's kind of a like being guided by like a mentor, yeah. Or just by the kind of the knowledge, the work that people have done before you, you know, the knowledge that's been amassed, being guided by that and learning from that. So, I mean, for me, if someone said to me, right, you're going to experience joy through the Hierophant, I might like go through my bookcase and find like a a really good tarot book and kind of a soak in some information from it. Like that for me is experiencing joy through the Hierophant. Marita's got the Queen of Pentacles. Robin has got the Chariot and the Ace of Wands. When there's a spark, don't let it pass. Grab on and ride the wave of creativity and let it bring me joy. Love that. Such a nice combination of cards. Malamir has the Ten of Swords. I think it's saying the end of the brutal year I've been experiencing is on the horizon. I hope so.
That would be great.
That would be really nice. And Cat Aura Tarot, I'm trying to remember what the Ten of Swords looks like in Cat Aura Tarot, but I can't picture it, and it would take me too long to get through the deck and find it because I think I've shuffled it all. But yeah, definitely for me, like the joy and the Ten of Swords is found in that that rising sun, that new beginning that's kind of a coming about. So yeah. Let's see. So Karen's got the High Priestess. So quiet moments, going inward, enjoying any downloads that I get. Enjoy the woo-woo, definitely.
Yes.
To use my words to bring that new dawn about. And to use my words to bring that new dawn about. Right, I've got you. Nice. It's kind of like find joy in the doing. Yeah, definitely. I love the court cards in the deck that you're using. So that's your deck, Deanne.
Yeah, so this is the Way Home Tarot, and this is by the people that wrote WTF is Tarot. It is Bakra Wintner and Autumn Whitehurst. And I believe this is still available. It's a great, great deck.
Nice. Is that mass market, Deanne, or is it indie?
I think it's indie. I think
Nice.
it still is.
Nice.
Yeah, I've had it for quite a while, but I do think you can just get it straight from them still. It's really cool too. Like the aces have like sacred geometry. You can't see because of my light. Okay, here we go. So each of the aces has like the shape and then part of the element as well. And then the quartz are all like that silhouette style. It's a really cool mix of things. And there's no people in it except the quartz. So there's like plant, animal, sacred geometry. It's really cool.
Nice. Right. John has got the King of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles. So 2 Pentacles quartz for you so far, John. That's pretty intense. I'm conscious, by the way, that there's a lot of chat still here. I want to say hi to Kat, by the way, because I've seen that Kat's just come in. So hi, Kat. It's lovely to see you. Justin as well. Hey, guys. Just left the gym. Hope you're all well. What I'm going to do, I am going to just scroll to the bottom because I don't want to go past 11 o'clock. And it's 20 minutes to 11 just now, and we've got 2 cards to get through. So I'm going to do a wee skipperoonie But what I would say is, if anyone particularly wants Deanne's and or my thoughts on your cards, then tag me, or tag Deanne, just so that it pops up for us and it's obvious for me when I'm scrolling. So Deanne, the third card
Oh, right.
position.
It's me. I made it. Hold on. So the third
Sorry.
one is the main action you should take. So this was inspired by wands. The main action you should take in April. So if there's one thing you're going to do, what's that number one thing on the to-do list?
Okay. You want me to go first again?
Yeah.
Page of Swords. So it's really interesting. I think your job in April, you have to throw yourself into something new, like intellectually. You have to learn something new. It might just be, it could be like, oh, I've really been interested in getting, finding out more about, I don't know, palm reading or something like that. Or it might be, do you know what? I'm quite comfortable in how I do such and such, but maybe I could find a different way to do it. Such and such might have a really interesting take on it that's different from mine, and maybe I can learn from it. It might be that, but it's like, to me, this has like, it has enthusiasm, it has a sense of adventure about it, as it's something exciting, but definitely like a very student energy about the Page of Swords. Um, I feel as though it's, given that he's kind of a looking into the past, he's looking left.
Yeah.
I feel more like it's like this isn't something completely brand new. You know, I'm not asking you to take up like, I don't know, like extreme motorbiking or anything like that. Maybe
Right.
you do already do extreme motorbiking, and that wouldn't be new. But
No, thank
it's
you.
something that you've kind of you've contemplated before. But I feel like or April would be a good time for you to throw yourself into that. Okay, so if there's anything you've been thinking about, maybe learning or finding out more about, or looking at from a different perspective, then that's your job in April.
Okay. That makes sense. It could be about a few different things. And now, just right at the end, I'm kind of thinking that I know maybe what it is, but it's sort of this like weird specific thing.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to think about it.
Well,
I think I know what it is. I've been sitting around thinking about doing lots of things. So that's why it's just kind of, it's not that I don't want to share. I'm just thinking so many, so many things. I've been spending my days like trying not to wish away time, but also like, it's hard to do X and Y and Z while I'm working from home with my 2-year-old. And she's super cute. And so when she comes up and says, Mommy, whatever, then I go and do that thing instead of, using my little work breaks to do some of my stuff. Not that I never do, but it's limited, right? What can I do from the living room, from my phone, from here? I don't have a lot of time to just like go in my magical tarot room and like dive into something like that. So basically lots of thoughts up here, and that is kind of asking me to like kind of pick something, because I think it could be a lot of things, and I think I could add something in that is doable right now, even though during the day I sit here and I'm like, oh, I can't do anything. I think I could make something
yeah,
actually happen if I really tried.
yeah,
So
nice.
sort of similar, like what with you were talking about. I think you just used an example of the Hierophant card, but that is your action, is the Hierophant um, from the way home. So this this one is really cool too, because we have like the added like growth from it, and we see the root system and everything. So again, it's kind of like yeah, you were talking about like maybe that means going to the bookshelf and like finding something and like kind of diving in. And I think that's something you're really good at about, like, okay, I'm going to do this Marielle study, and now I'm going to get into like the astrological aspects of it. I'm going to bring in timing. I feel like you're good at choosing a thing and then like doing that for a while, or even like painting, like, okay, I'm going to like go through this, where I kind of, I don't know, I'm like, oh, I really want to read about astrology, and I do it for like 2.5 days, and then I'm squirreling away to something else. But this feels like more of that grounded energy too, with the roots. I think is something really unique about this Hierophant, and it kind of goes nicely with all this, and really even like with the Hermit card, you know what I mean? Because the Hierophant feels personal, even if we're with someone else. If it is another person, teacher, mentor, someone we're taking advice from, there's still that it's a personal thing. Like, what are you really interested in right now? What are you um kind of seeking?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I love how that Father of Wands and the Hierophant have a similar color scheme
Yeah.
going. It's quite cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Very nice. So far you're
Tony,
like really matching your cards. You have like a color palette going on here.
this isn't. Tony's asked me, is this the official layout that I'm doing? No, I'm just laying them down any which way. Did you say there was an official layout? Sorry, Deanne, I know I asked you.
No, there's not.
Right, okay, so we can just lay the 4 cards however we want. So I'm just
Yeah.
doing it like this, to be honest, because the way that it goes on the screen, do you know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
uh, but you can lay them out any way you want, Tony. And I've also got a comment from Robin saying, "A toadstool Hierophant, Chris. Maybe you're supposed to get in touch with me." That is very true.
That could be.
Maybe so. Um, okay, let me just quickly run through and see what you guys have got for your card threes. So Robin got the 9 of Swords. Um, main action 10 of Coins for Beth. Few 10 of Coins, 10 of Pentacles is coming up. Let's see. John got the Queen of Swords. John, I feel like that comes up for you often. Maybe I'm just misremembering a wee bit, but I feel as though I've seen you pull the Queen of Swords a few times. The Sun for Tony, exuding glorious positivity. The 3 of Pentacles for Lottie. Kat was just looking at that deck on their shelf. Is that the This Might Hurt? The Hierophant for Debbie as well. So me and Debbie
Nice.
have got the same card. And we've got the 9 of Cups for Donna. Main action is to find satisfaction with where I am and what I have and live in the moment. I like that. King of Swords for Kristen has to do with the novel that I've begun writing. Take charge of the process, harness, improve any expertise that I have with writing. Swords keep coming up in relation to the subject, right? Okay, okay, yeah.
Makes
And that
sense.
king is, yeah. Kings are all about the structure and maintaining the structure, aren't they? So yeah, that does make sense. The 7 of Wands for Marita. So your challenge was the Ace of Cups, wasn't it? And I can't remember what your middle card, your second card was, Marita, but you had that new beginning card, that Ace of Cups, and now your 7 of Wands is your main thing you've got to do. So I don't know. It feels like feels you've got a wee bit of a battle on your hands, Marita. Feels like you've got some asses to kick. Is the impression that I'm getting.
Right? Maybe like
Um,
protecting that, whatever that new beginning brings for you, like protecting that peace.
yeah. Um, Main action for Liz is the Two of Cups. Very nice. Three of Pentacles for Karen. Six of Chalices for Malamia. Solar Plexus. I think this is saying to tap into connections and relationships where I'm loved and valued for who I am. Nice.
Kid
I could hear
footsteps. Can
someone
everyone
moving
hear that?
about. Yeah. Three of Pentacles for Robin, of Robin's Reflections.
Someone else had Three of Pentacles too.
As I squint at my screen, is that a French version of This Might Hurt Tarot? Yes, it is. This is the mass market French edition that I've got here. What did you say there, Deanne? Sorry. Say that again.
That someone else had Three of Pentacles for this as well that we're reading through.
Oh,
So
right, yeah.
just more pattern, more theme cards.
Yeah.
Oh, Lottie.
Nice. I think mine is saying to work more with others than alone, said Karen. Cool. And then shall we do the final card, Deanne?
Yes, we should. I see a couple of comments about my giant wine, which is Tony and Liz, because they weren't here when I got here and this was near to the top. Because I asked Ryan at the last minute to pour me a glass of wine. And then he comes around the corner. He says, "Is this enough?" I was like, "Okay, it's bigger than my head. That's plenty. Thank you." He's an awesome husband.
Yes. Yes, he is.
Okay, so the last one, here we go. I'm paying attention. The last one is how to reward yourself or how to practice self-care. And again, I don't know why I had to be picky about the wording, but it just kept going in my head that some people might be hesitant to reward themselves. I don't know. Just like I didn't want to say how to find joy, this was like another sticking point. So, how to reward yourself or how to practice self-care for yourself. Practice self-care for yourself, if that wasn't clear.
Yes. I like that.
And this was my like inspired by the Pentacles question.
Okay. So for you, you've got the Six of Pentacles.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, this is an interesting one. The way that I feel about this is actually about asking for help rather
Okay.
than giving help. I feel this is like because like I was saying at the start when I was talking about your initial card, I feel
Right.
like I mean you're always there for me. And I feel like you're that kind of person that is always there for the people around about you. Um, but maybe it might be a wee bit of a challenge for you to actually ask for help when you need it, or to call in. When maybe when you're owed something, or when you're, you know, when you're maybe owed a favor or something, you maybe don't
Yeah.
feel as comfortable calling in that favor. But I feel like
Yeah.
this is saying how you reward yourself, or and it applies to both really. Practice self care is actually kind of a value yourself enough to say, well, do you know what? Like a kind of a like, I looked after your kids for you at that time, so would you mind looking after them so as that I can have another glass of wine the size of my head, or do you know what I
This
mean?
is
Like,
exactly, no, you're exactly right. Because I'm watching like my four like baby cousins tomorrow. They're not all babies though, but again, just because they're the generation like below me. And my cousin's wife will occasionally, like, she'll watch Vela a couple times a month or something like that. And I have
Mm.
held off on asking her because I'm like, well, I'm taking her kids for her birthday. I don't want to, like, I don't want to use up a day in March. Like, I'll do it in April, like after I've watched like all four of hers or whatever, which she's like so grateful for. And so yeah, I'm like, Deanne, but even so, like, I'll watch someone's four kids overnight and then I'll still be hesitant to like ask because I don't know why. I just don't want to take. And um, so yeah, I mean, she's been great, and I've, called in that favor before, and it's perfect. And I just need to really do that for April so I can just kind of get myself just a reset and get myself organized and everything. Yeah, but that's funny. I was laughing when I'm like, oh, how to reward myself is give things to other people, which is also true because I love like literal gift giving. I just love it so much. But no, I think you're right. Okay.
Um,
So yours I'm kind of stumped about, and I just have to laugh because and I was laughing when I flipped this over because it's the card I showed as an example. And as soon as I showed you this card, the Ace of Wands, I was like, I know this is going to come up now. And I've been sitting here shuffling at this like almost the whole time. And also like goes along with your color theme. I mean, it's a little more like pastel-y, but still it's in the family of these for sure. So very
yeah,
has colors going on. So these aces to me are so um I mean, I guess the aces are minimal anyway, but just like the line, like the sacred geometry always just brings like this like clarity and simplicity, but then it's also like a really big card because it's an ace. So this does feel like, whereas the Hierophant feels sort of like a continuation of something, or, these are the thing, in the realm of, tarot and all this kind of thing. That's what that feels like. And then this feels like something new, or like I talked about like painting and stuff, but like also, you're into piano. And is there something that, I mean, that's not new, but it's like, is there something that like the match needs to be struck again that you kind of not felt motivated about or passionate about, which we shouldn't force those things, right? That's where I think, especially the Ace of Wands gets tricky because we don't want to, um, say like, okay, I'm going to sit here and write this book, or, I'm going to learn a new song on the piano. If you're not feeling it, like that's the whole thing about creativity. Like it's supposed to be a spark that happens and not that someone's like throwing at you, but something, I know I said new, but like just something you haven't picked up in a while is what that
mhm,
feels like, that there's going to be this new, and then in the frame of the question, I guess, how to reward yourself. So something that maybe you feel like, because you do a ton for other people, and maybe you feel like, oh, this isn't as rewarding or something for other people. Um, but something like maybe purely for yourself or mostly for yourself.
yeah. It's funny thinking about all of the cards that I got in context. So I so I was I've probably told you, Deanne, but I was at a workshop. Like everyone will be sick of hearing me talk about this now because I've talked about it so much. But the workshop that I was at, like a couple of weeks back or
Yeah.
last week or something, um, I'm thinking about well, both of them, they were quite kind of magical, to use a term.
Yeah.
Um, and I've just been kind of thinking about being a bit more kind of like I'm an open book. You know me. Like cards are my thing. I'm not someone who like is overly keen on things like crystals and stuff. And sure, I'll use them. Sometimes I'll even feel like they're effective. But it's not like I don't have like rituals that I follow like religiously. I'm not generally that kind of person, but I'm kind of a like get feeling it a wee bit more lately, you know. So I'm kind of a like so years ago, Chris Yao sent me. It was actually I was in Sandra's chat, um, and I was talking about this there. Chris Yao sent me basically a candle that had been lit from Bridget's flame.
Yeah.
So you do this thing where you become a keeper of Bridget's flame because you're passed on.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking about like getting like a really beautiful big candle and
Yep.
lighting that using that candle so as that becomes exactly, that's where I'm going with it. But it brings in that the kind of like the Hierophant energy as well, because that side is something that I'm not as familiar with. So it's new to
Right.
me and it's like stuff that I need to learn. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Because I'm not the kind of a person that just wants to half-arse something like that, because I don't really like fucking with stuff that I don't know, but also I if I'm doing something, I want to do it right and I want to
Right.
do it in a
You're
way that
not going to do it for 2.5 days. You're going to like do it for 3 months at least and maybe share it with all of us. And then you're going to like keep that in the routine of things you do. I'm jealous of that.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So like I think just yesterday I found myself on like online looking at like altar candles and stuff because I thought, right, what's the biggest ass candle that I can find? An altar candle. That's you know what I mean. I'll be able
Yeah.
to get one that's like taller than me. Um, but yeah, I was like looking for stuff like that. So yeah, like that's something new that I've been kind of thinking about dipping my toe into.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I almost like because I'm big on like how the Boas and Hakim
Mhm.
pillars and the High Priestess. Like as much as what I've just said, for me it's mostly about the cards. Like I've always had some kind of a connection to that. That idea of like the duality of those two pillars, and like even like outside, like across the road from me there's like well, it's a golf course and there's trees, um that they act as a barrier for the golf balls, but there's always been like these two trees and one's always been like darker than the other, and I've always thought it's like right outside my big bay window, and I've always thought that's my own wee Boaz and Hakim.
Love that.
um
Yeah.
so I've been kind of thinking, do I want to get like a black and a white candle? Do you know what I mean? Like kind of to bring that kind of a sense of magic into it.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
it's 2 minutes past 11, and I've been yapping the whole time.
No, it's okay. I love it. I mean, my kids aren't going to like turn into pumpkins or anything. It's fine.
just bring them down, bring them into the life. Like
Oh my gosh.
Max should have been in this, and he should have been pulling cards too next time.
He's probably getting close to that where he could handle that for sure.
um, Right, I'm probably going to be pushing that a wee bit if I try and go through everyone's comments here, folks. But let me just quickly. So there's no
Oh,
tags. No one's tagged me or anything. So I don't think there's anything of pressing urgency. But you all know where to find me on the socials and email and all that lovely stuff. So, um, you know,
yeah,
give
and
me a wee
feel free to
shout.
leave comments too because I stalk the comments here. So, you know, when I'm not
Yeah,
doing my
same.
work on Monday, I'll be responding to comments and stuff. So,
Yeah.
I do want to say that Kaz is here, who I have not seen in forever. So, hello, and thanks for hanging out with us.
Hi, Kaz. Yeah, says first time grabbing a deck, Magician, Temperance, Ace of Cups in the world. Wow, 3 majors. There you go. Look at that.
That's
Um,
awesome.
One thing I did want to quickly do, Deanne,
Yeah.
is just add up and find out what the number is, if that's okay. I like to do that with readings. So
Oh, for
12
sure. Let
plus
me count.
19 is
Uh,
31,
Queens
42.
are 12. Hold on.
Queens are 13,
Queens
48.
are 13. Oh, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so 11, 12. So yours reduces to a 3. Is that what you do? Like it was 21
Um,
and then a 3. Hey, you got 20.
so I would call that the world if it goes to 21. So
Okay.
yours is 12. Yours is 12, so you're the hanged man, but if we were to reduce
Nice.
both, then they both get to 3.
Look
That's
at
pretty cool,
that.
isn't it?
I feel like we
Yeah.
are super opposite and then also the same sometimes. So that works out really well. We both,
I know.
the Venn diagram meets where we do not like anthropomorphic animals, and the rest of it is like kind of separate. Oh, that's amazing.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, folks. So people are adding up theirs as well. So Marita's got 30, so yours is 3 as well. Marita, you've got your 3, the Empress. Brilliant. Karen got the bloody tower. Uh, Kristen's like, we're doing maths. Yes, the
Seriously.
way that I do it, Kristen. So for courts, it's 11s are the pages, 12s knights, 13 for queens, 14 for kings. You add the numbers together, and you reduce it to get a number between 0 and 20. Well, I suppose 1 and 22 if you want. But this comes to, when I add them up, it comes to 48, which reduces down to 12. So Hangman. So that was how I did it. Malamir's got Emperor, we've got some Hermits.
Yeah, you used to always do that. I love that.
Yeah, I like doing it as well. It's just like an overall feel for the reading. And sometimes it tells you things. So for me, the fact that you've got the Hanged Man, for me, the Hanged Man is taking a different perspective on things. So that might make me maybe hone in on this card, which was about doing something new for me because it's a page,
Yeah,
you know? Um, like, so maybe like that page energy, that kind of a, what was position 3? One, if there's one thing you're going to do in April, this is it.
right.
Like, to me, that highlights the importance of that. So
Yeah,
people can use it any way they want.
yeah. I like the spread that I
Um,
made. I think I'm going to keep it around.
Good. Yeah, I think you should. I think it's worked really well. Brilliant. Right, everyone, we are going to love you and leave you. Thank you so much for being here. Deanne, thank you so much for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure and for reading
Yes,
for me.
thank you. Thank you.
Have you got anything coming up that you would like to announce? Any public service announcements?
Um, just that, keep an eye on my channel potentially on Sunday afternoons. I don't know if this weekend it will happen because it is Easter. We'll be doing fun stuff. But I mean, who knows? We're not doing anything super fancy either. So I could be around. But yeah, for right now, nothing super scheduled, but I just kind of pop on a quiet Sunday afternoon around 2 my time. So
Cool.
yeah.
Cool. And Marita, I'll get back to you on that. I'll maybe send you a wee message somewhere. And if I don't, then just remind me. But okay, everyone, thanks very much for being here. It's been amazing. Take care, and we shall see you all later. Bye bye.
Bye.